Well, many of you have asked about my chickens for me to show you more chicken videos. So you remember my golden buff colored buff Orpingtons. My sister-in-law called them golden drops of sunshine. Okay. They were getting a little old. There were 9 hens and the rooster, and the 9 hens were putting out about 1 egg every second or third day. I did everything I knew to do that I've showed you to do to spur the egg production, but they were about 2.5 to 3 years old, and they do start slowing down. Commercially, they won't keep a chicken past about 2 years because that's when they start slowing down. So I no longer have the buff Orpingtons. I didn't sell them. Let me tell you a little story. I put them on Craigslist for, I was going to sell them all. I put them and these, I'll tell you about these in just a second, on Craigslist for $100. 9 buff hens, 1 buff rooster, 2, pretty sure that's a rooster, so 2 black Australorps pullets and 2 black Australorps roosters. Put them on Craigslist for $100 and got a couple of calls, but had one guy call from a ministry that's close to me, a camp, a Christian camp, day camp, summer camp, whatever you want to call it. So he said he wanted to train them. He was interested in just the buffs, and he wanted to train them to make trained chickens out of them. I told him, sure. As a good salesman, I said, sure, that'll work. No, I didn't. I said, well, I don't know. He said something about they wanted to, when one of their campers comes and holds out their arm to them, he wants them to be able to fly up on their arm. And obviously he knows not a whole lot about chickens, or he's been watching too many YouTube videos, because that is typically not in a chicken's nature, is to fly up on your arm like a trained falcon or something. And just enjoy your company. So I told him $75 for all the buffs, and then I said, well, now let me get this straight. You're from where? And he told me that the Christian ministry. And I told him, I said, man, just come get them for free. They're free. Come get them. So him and a couple other guys came, got them, asked lots of questions about raising chickens because they didn't know anything. They had a good chicken house. He said they kept other things in it, I forget what he said they put in them, but other things that it's a good pen that would keep the varmints out at night. And I told him that was the main concern, was keeping. Told him everything in those woods back there thinks you brought a chicken here for their dinner. So the buffs are no longer here. This is what I am left with, and it looks like to me to be pullet, rooster. So one of those roosters will go, well, let me tell you the story behind these black Australorps. I've already told you a little bit once, but let me clarify. So I go answer a Craigslist ad back in July about some black Australorps. I've always wanted them. I've always heard they were great, and so I've wanted some, so I've got some. Anyway, I went down there and told him I wanted 15 pullets and 1 rooster. Okay, no problem. I know how to tell a rooster, he said, I know how to tell a rooster from a pullet at about 2 months old, 3 months old. I do not, but he assured me that there was no problem, that he knew what he was doing. So what he did to verify their gender was to hold them upside down, legs up, and he said if he starts looking up, if the head hangs down, it's a pullet. If he pops his head up and looking around, it's a rooster, because they're real wary. They won't. So if the legs are up in the air and the head's up in the air, he says it's a rooster. If the heads are hanging down when you hold them upside down, if their heads hang down like that, he said it's a pullet. Plus, he said their eyeballs, the pullets have little beady pupils, and the rooster's pupil is the entire eyeball is the pupil. And the ones he showed me, they definitely had that. So anyway, so fast forward a couple of months when all these start growing these long tail feathers, and then I fast forward another month when a couple of them start crowing and chasing the mamas around, and I wound up with, out of 16, there's supposed to be 15 pullets and 1 rooster. 16, I wound up with 2 pullets. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, you're a rooster. Well, I know that. Look at that tail. That's how I tell. When they start getting them at about that age right there, when they start getting those tail feathers that start drooping down like that, and start maybe getting some spurs on them. But they also got those big combs, and these 2 girls have real small combs, as you can see. And they've got these huge combs and wattles or whatever those are under the neck. So anyway, so I called the guy. I told him at the time, if you're wrong, I'm coming back. We're gonna do some trading. Well, I called him, and he said he had had a stroke and got rid of all his chickens, so he could not help me. So I was stuck with, out of 16 that I paid $10 a piece for, I was stuck with 14 roosters and 2 pullets. Just don't need that many roosters. So I dispatched all but these 2. I wasn't sure about him. This was about a month ago, and he looked like a rooster, but I wasn't real sure, and I didn't want to, kill a pullet. So anyway, so that's why I got 2 roosters, not 1. So I will winnow my way down to 1 rooster, I'm sure. Trying to decide if I want to buy some baby chicks. I need to hurry because it's going to start getting cold and they're going to stop selling them. But I'm really thinking about buying. I really kind of wanted to go through the winter without chickens, but so I can either sell these, and then in the springtime go ahead and buy some new chickens and do that. What I'll probably do, or what I'm thinking about doing, is buying some babies, some 1-day-old chicks that are black Australorps, or to get some black star or black sex link, same thing basically. And I really like the black sex link. I've had them before. I've had Dominicers before. I like Dominicers. Or Barred Rock, Rhode Island, not Rhode Island, Plymouth Rocks. Barred Rock, Plymouth Rock, all of them about the same thing. Really like those. Had them in the past. So I don't know. I just, I haven't decided. I need to hurry up and decide so I can go ahead and get some babies in here before it gets too cold. I'll probably put them in the barn for till they start feathering out. Then I'll put them in here. I haven't finished, as you can see, I haven't got the wire finished yet on the chicken pen, but I will finish it probably tomorrow, the next day. I've been waiting on some cooler weather. We got it now. So that video, the finishing that will come next week, hopefully. But I'll put the babies in here in a cage, a long cage, rabbit cage, that one right there. And put them in there where these can get familiar with them, get to know them, but not get to them, to peck at them and stuff. And then I'll put them in the then I'll take them out at some point where they can stay in here and the hawks won't get them. And I'll put some kind of deal up across here where those chickens, the big chickens, can fly up, jump out, but the little chickens can't. So I'll show you all that when I do it. But again, I'm just trying to decide whether to get some baby chickens. I'd like to have about a dozen chickens. I've got customers for eggs that would you know, that I could use a dozen chickens. Got plenty of, never had a problem getting rid of eggs. Right now I don't have any eggs, and I've told my customers, nope, don't got. So anyway, long story short, here is what I have now. These are my chickens. 2 roosters, 2 pullets. That means 2 girls, 2 boys, for those of you that don't know. And think I'm gonna get some babies. If I do, of course, I'll show you. Anyway, so that's where I stand right now with chickens. What do you think? Should I get some babies? Should I? If I'm gonna keep these anyway, and that's my decision. If I'm gonna keep these through the winter, then I might as well have some little ones. Might as well have some babies. I'm gonna have to water, gonna have to feed anyway, so I might as well do it. If I don't want to keep anything through the winter, then I will sell these. So that's my dilemma. That's my question mark. That's my decision. So you tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I know you're not the one that has to feed them during the winter. We don't have that bad of winters. It's not that big a deal, but you do on occasion. Last year was a pretty hard winter for us, and you know, water freezing. I like to drain my well out during the winter, and then but with chickens, you know, I've got to drain it out, and then when their water gets empty, I got to turn it back on. And I really would just like to one time just drain it and be done with it. But anyway, what do you think I ought to do about chickens? What do you think I ought to do? Let me know. And I am gone.